This video contains audio content only. There are no visual elements or images accompanying the audio. If you're expecting to see video footage, please note that this is an intentional audio-only presentation. We recommend listening to this content rather than watching the screen. Thank you for your understanding and enjoy the audio. The Austronesian migrations rank among history's most extraordinary sagas, beginning in an island crucible and spanning the Pacific over millennia. Guided by advanced seafaring and navigational skills, these explorers adapted to new environments, shaped diverse cultural landscapes, and influenced everything from languages to agriculture. Ongoing research in genetics, archaeology, and linguistics continues to unravel the deeper layers of their epic story. In the following sections, we'll delve into their origins, achievements, and enduring impact on our shared human heritage. Chapter 1. Island Crucible. Dawn of the Austronesians. Picture yourself transported back in time, thousands of years ago, to a verdant island shaped like a sweet potato nestled off the coast of mainland Asia. This island, which we now call Taiwan, was not just a beautiful landscape, but a crucible, a melting pot of cultures and languages, and the birthplace of a people who would leave an indelible mark on half the globe, the Austronesians. Their story is a saga of seafaring mastery, cultural fusion, and an epic migration that populated the Pacific and beyond. Taiwan, the ancestral homeland of the Austronesians, buzzed with human activity long before these intrepid voyagers set sail. Archaeological discoveries paint a picture of a society developing over millennia. Findings of red-slipped pottery, jade ornaments, and evidence of wetland agriculture reveal a people deeply connected to their environment. But the island's story goes back even further, to a time when different cultures intertwined, adding layers of complexity to Taiwan's rich tapestry. The Austronesians' presence in Taiwan dates back thousands of years, with some archaeological finds pushing the timeline back remarkably far. The discovery of Liangdao Man, an 8,000-year-old skeleton unearthed on Liangdao Island in the Matsu archipelago, just off the coast of mainland China, provides a crucial piece of the puzzle. Mitochondrial DNA analysis of Liangdao Man reveals a direct link to the E haplotype, a genetic marker found exclusively in Austronesian populations. This haplotype, a unique set of genetic variations passed down through the maternal line, acts as a kind of genetic fingerprint, tracing the ancestry of Austronesians back to this ancient ancestor. The presence of the E haplotype in Liangdao Man solidifies Taiwan's claim as the cradle of Austronesian culture, a place where languages blossomed and diversified, setting the stage for their extraordinary expansion. The languages spoken by the early Austronesians in Taiwan, collectively known as Formosan languages, are not a monolith. They represent a remarkable diversity, encompassing 9 out of the 10 major branches of the Austronesian language family. These languages, far from being mere dialects, offer a window into the deep past, holding clues to the origins and relationships of Austronesian languages spoken from Madagascar to Easter Island. Languages like Atayalek, with its complex system of verb conjugations, Bunan, known for its polyphonic singing traditions, and Paiwan, with its elaborate social hierarchy reflected in its vocabulary, each tell a unique story. Studying these Formosan languages allows linguists to reconstruct the Proto-Austronesian language, the ancient tongue from which all other Austronesian languages descended, providing a deeper understanding of the Austronesian people's shared past. But the Austronesians were not the first to inhabit Taiwan. Evidence suggests that during the last ice age, around 20,000 years ago, a group of dark-skinned pygmy people also called the island home. These early inhabitants, possibly related to similar groups found in the Philippines, Malaysia, and the Andaman Islands, left their mark on the island's history. The Saisiat, an Austronesian tribe in Taiwan, have oral traditions that recount encounters and conflicts with these pygmy people. These stories, passed down through generations, speak of a time when different cultures coexisted, sometimes clashing, sometimes cooperating, on the island. The theory of a possible pre-Ice Age migration of dark-skinned people from Africa to Taiwan adds another intriguing dimension to the story. This theory suggests that these early migrants, possibly originating in Africa tens of thousands of years ago, journeyed across southern Asia, eventually reaching Taiwan. This proposed migration, supported by some genetic and anthropological studies, posits a much earlier wave of human movement into the region, predating the arrival of the Austronesians. While the evidence for this theory is still being debated, it highlights the complex and layered history of human settlement in Taiwan and Southeast Asia. Further south, the Aboriginal Australians, with their ancient roots on the continent, developed their own distinct cultures and societies. While there is limited evidence of direct contact between the Austronesians and Aboriginal Australians during the period of Austronesian expansion, it's theorized that the Aboriginal people's strong presence and well-established societies may have been a factor in the Austronesians not establishing permanent settlements in Australia. The vastness of the continent, combined with the existing Aboriginal populations, may have presented a challenge to the island-hopping Austronesians who were accustomed to settling on smaller islands. Taiwan, the island crucible, shaped the Austronesian peoples, fostering the development of their unique cultures, languages, and seafaring skills. It was here, amidst the verdant mountains and fertile coastal plains, that they honed their knowledge of boat building, navigation, and agriculture. From the simple dugout canoe to the sophisticated outrigger, their maritime technology evolved, preparing them for the epic voyages that would carry them across the vast expanse of the Pacific. It was in Taiwan that the seeds of the Austronesian expansion were sown, setting the stage for their remarkable journey across the oceans. Chapter 2. Navigating the Unknown, Austronesian Seafaring and the Pacific's Embrace. The Austronesians, nurtured in the island crucible of Taiwan, were poised to embark on a journey unparalleled in human history. Their mastery of the sea, born from necessity and honed by generations of experience, would carry them across the vast expanse of the Pacific, leaving an indelible mark on the cultures and languages of the islands they encountered. Their vessels were not merely boats, they were extensions of their culture, meticulously crafted and imbued with symbolic meaning. From the simple dugout canoe to the sophisticated outrigger and the versatile lashed lug boat, each vessel reflected the Austronesians' deep understanding of the ocean and their ingenuity in harnessing its power. The construction of these vessels was a testament to their craftsmanship. They used a variety of materials, depending on the resources available in their environment. In Taiwan, the Yami people, renowned for their seafaring skills, crafted impressive 15-foot outrigger canoes. These canoes, often owned by fishing associations, featured carved finials representing Magamaug, their ancestral culture hero who taught them boat building and agriculture. The hulls were often made from carefully selected tree trunks, hollowed out and shaped with precision. Lashing techniques, using natural fibers like coconut husk or rattan, bound the planks together, creating a sturdy and seaworthy vessel. The double-hulled canoes, or catamarans, offered increased stability and carrying capacity, essential for long voyages and the transport of families, livestock, and supplies. The lashed lug boat, with its unique sail design, provided versatility in navigating different wind conditions, allowing the Austronesians to explore a wider range of environments. The Austronesians' mastery of sail technology was a key factor in their success. The crab claw sail, a distinctive feature of their vessels, was a marvel of engineering. Unlike the square sails used by other seafaring cultures, the crab claw sail, shaped like a crescent or the claw of a crab, allowed for remarkable maneuverability. It could be rotated and adjusted to catch the wind from various angles, enabling the Austronesians to sail against the wind, a crucial advantage in navigating the unpredictable winds and currents of the Pacific. This ability to sail windward opened up new possibilities for exploration and settlement, allowing them to reach islands that would have been inaccessible to other seafarers. Their navigational skills were equally impressive, blending a deep understanding of the natural world with sophisticated techniques of celestial navigation. They observed the stars, memorizing their positions and movements, using them as celestial guides to chart their course across the open ocean. They also developed an intimate knowledge of ocean currents, recognizing the patterns and rhythms of the sea. They learned to read the waves, interpreting their swells and patterns to discern the location of distant islands, even those beyond the horizon. Beyond the stars and the sea, the Austronesians also relied on a keen observation of natural indicators. The flight paths of birds, particularly seabirds returning to their nests in the evening, often signaled the direction of land. Cloud formations, especially those lingering over islands, offered another visual clue. The behavior of marine life, such as the presence of certain fish or the direction of whale migrations, provided further insights into the surrounding environment. These observations, passed down through generations and refined through experience, formed a complex system of navigational knowledge that allowed the Austronesians to navigate the vast Pacific with remarkable accuracy. The settlement of Madagascar, Easter Island, and New Zealand stand as testaments to their navigational prowess. The voyage to Madagascar, across the Indian Ocean from Southeast Asia, required navigating thousands of miles of open water, a feat accomplished sometime between the 7th and 13th centuries CE. The settlement of Easter Island, one of the most isolated islands in the world, around 1200 CE, demonstrates their ability to navigate vast distances and adapt to new environments. The arrival of the Maori in New Zealand in the mid to late 1200s CE, after navigating the treacherous currents of the South Pacific, marks another remarkable achievement in Austronesian seafaring. These voyages were not without peril. The vast distances, unpredictable weather, and lack of modern instruments presented formidable challenges. The Austronesians provisioned their vessels with dried fish, yams, coconuts, and other staples, carefully rationing their supplies to last for weeks or even months at sea. Upon arrival, they adapted to new environments, introducing domesticated plants and animals, including rice, bananas, and pigs, transforming the landscapes and cultures of the islands they settled. Austronesian voyages were not solitary endeavors. They were complex social undertakings, with clearly defined roles and responsibilities. Navigators, revered for their knowledge and experience, held a position of high status within the community. Crew members, skilled in sailing and boat maintenance, worked together to ensure the safe passage of the vessel. Passengers, often entire families, brought with them their traditions, stories, and cultural practices, contributing to the rich tapestry of Austronesian cultures across the Pacific. Seafaring was not merely a means of transportation for the Austronesians. It was deeply woven into their worldview and traditions. It shaped their understanding of the cosmos, their social organization, and their artistic expression. The Yami people's reverence for Magamaug, their culture hero who taught them boat building, reflects the cultural significance of seafaring. In the Sulu region of the Philippines, box-like tombs surmounted by wooden grave markers are a unique feature of Muslim cemeteries. While their exact meaning is debated, some scholars suggest they may represent boats, symbolizing the importance of seafaring in the afterlife. In Java, the flat horse dance, in which performers enter a trance and mimic the movements of horses, may have its roots in Austronesian seafaring traditions, reflecting the rhythmic motions of riding the waves. The exchange of navigational knowledge and seafaring traditions between different Austronesian groups played a crucial role in their expansion. As they encountered new islands and peoples, they shared their knowledge of navigation, boat building, and maritime technology, fostering a network of interconnected communities across the Pacific. This exchange of knowledge not only facilitated their expansion but also contributed to the diversity and adaptability of Austronesian cultures. The Austronesian story is a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and the enduring power of cultural exchange. Their voyages across the Pacific, driven by a combination of factors and guided by their mastery of the sea, shaped the destiny of countless islands and peoples, leaving a legacy that continues to resonate today. Chapter 3. Seeds of Change. The Austronesian Breath on Language, Culture, and Agriculture. The Austronesian migrations, a ripple that became a wave, carried not just people across the vast Pacific, but also a breath of innovation, transforming the languages, cultures, and agricultural practices of the regions they touched. More than simply a movement of bodies, it was a transmission of ideas, technologies, and ways of life, the echoes of which still resonate today. The linguistic footprint of this expansion is vast and varied, a testament to the adaptability and dynamism of the Austronesian languages. Over 1,200 distinct languages, all stemming from the Proto-Austronesian language spoken in Taiwan, now flourish across the Pacific. This linguistic tapestry stretches from the familiar Tagalog and Cebuano of the Philippines to the melodic Polynesian languages of Samoa, Tonga, and Hawaii. Even the distant shores of Madagascar bear witness to this heritage, with the Malagasy language a unique blend of Austronesian roots and later influences. The connection between Malagasy and Malay, separated by thousands of miles of ocean, provides a fascinating glimpse into the Austronesians' journey. Shared vocabulary and grammatical structures reveal a common ancestry, while the presence of Sanskrit, Arabic, and Persian loanwords in Malagasy hints at later interactions with traders and travelers from across the Indian Ocean. These linguistic layers tell a story of cultural exchange and adaptation, reflecting the Austronesians' ability to integrate new influences while preserving their core linguistic identity. Malay, strategically positioned along the Strait of Malacca, emerged as a lingua franca, a bridge between different cultures in the bustling pre-colonial trade networks. It facilitated communication between traders from China, India, and the Middle East, becoming a vital tool for commerce and cultural exchange. The influence of Malay extends beyond its role as a trade language. In places like Aceh in northern Sumatra, the Sulu archipelago of the southern Philippines, and Ternate and Tidore in the northern Moluccas, Malay loanwords permeate the local languages, evidence of its enduring impact on the linguistic landscape of the region. The development of Creole languages like Tok Pisin in Papua New Guinea, a blend of Tolai, English, and other languages, reflects the Austronesians' continued influence on language evolution in a colonial context. The linguistic diversity within Taiwan itself is a microcosm of the broader Austronesian language family. The Formosan languages, spoken by the indigenous peoples of Taiwan, represent 9 of the 10 primary branches of the Austronesian family. This remarkable diversity, preserved in languages like Amos, Kavalan, Bisay Trobiawan, and Saraya, offers a window into the deep past, providing valuable insights into the evolution of Proto-Austronesian and its subsequent diversification. The shared use of the grammatical affix, ma, in several East Formosan languages and Malayo-Polynesian languages, for example, reveals a close linguistic connection, suggesting a shared origin and challenging earlier assumptions about the Austronesian language tree. The word mata, meaning I, in numerous Austronesian languages, from Taiwan's Amos and Bunan to Bali, Bungku, Makassar, and various Polynesian tongues, further illustrates the enduring linguistic ties that bind these diverse communities. Even the Indonesian word matahari, meaning sun, literally eye of the day, reflects this shared vocabulary. The Austronesian cultural heritage is as rich and varied as its languages, a tapestry woven with intricate designs and vibrant colors. Tattooing, a practice deeply embedded in Austronesian cultures, served not just as bodily adornment, but also as a marker of identity, status, and spiritual connection. In some cultures, tattoos told stories of ancestry, lineage, and personal achievements. Stilt houses, another hallmark of Austronesian architecture, reflect a practical adaptation to coastal environments, providing protection from floods and pests. But they also hold symbolic meaning, representing a connection to the spiritual world, with the space beneath the house often considered a sacred realm. Jade carving, a tradition passed down through generations, showcases the Austronesians' artistic skill and their reverence for this precious stone. Jade ornaments, often worn as symbols of status and power, were also believed to possess protective qualities. Rock art motifs, found in caves and on rock faces across Austronesia, offer glimpses into the spiritual beliefs and artistic expressions of these ancient cultures. From hand stencils and geometric patterns to depictions of boats, animals, and ancestral figures, these rock art panels provide a visual record of Austronesian history and culture. The Austronesians' cultural practices were often deeply intertwined with their spiritual beliefs. Ancestor veneration, a common thread throughout Austronesian cultures, reflects a profound respect for lineage and the wisdom of past generations. In Nias, carved wooden figures representing deceased family members were placed in the main room of the house, serving as a tangible link to their ancestors and a reminder of their family history. The Yami people of Taiwan, renowned for their seafaring skills, held fishing associations in high regard, recognizing the importance of collective effort and the spiritual connection to the sea. In the Sulu region of the Philippines, elaborate grave markers in Muslim cemeteries reflect not only a reverence for the dead, but also the Austronesians' maritime heritage, with some markers resembling boats, symbolizing a journey to the afterlife. The Kuda Kepong trance dance in Java, where performers embody the spirit of a horse, offers a glimpse into the Austronesians' connection to the spirit world and their ability to access altered states of consciousness. Betel nut chewing, a widespread practice across Austronesia, served not only as a social ritual, but also as a way to connect with the spiritual realm, with the mild stimulant effects of the betel nut believed to enhance communication with the gods and ancestors. Austronesian architecture also reflects the diversity and ingenuity of their cultures. The bale houses of the Ifugao people in the Philippines, with their raised structures and capped house posts, are believed to be derived from the design of traditional granaries, reflecting the importance of rice storage and the connection to agricultural practices. The Tongkonan houses of the Toraja people in Indonesia, with their distinctive saddleback roofs, evoke the shape of boats, symbolizing the Austronesians' maritime heritage. The Bai meeting houses of Palau, with their colorfully decorated gables, served as communal gathering spaces, reinforcing social bonds and cultural identity. The Austronesians were not merely seafarers and artists. They were also skilled agriculturalists, bringing with them a bounty of domesticated plants and animals that transformed the agricultural landscapes and diets of the Pacific. Rice, a staple crop in many Austronesian cultures, was not simply introduced wholesale but diversified as they adapted different varieties to the unique environments of the islands they settled. The introduction of rice cultivation, along with wetland agriculture and the development of irrigation systems, allowed for increased food production, supporting larger populations and the emergence of more complex social structures. Bananas, coconuts, breadfruit, yams, taro, and paper mulberry were among the other crops they cultivated, providing a diverse and sustainable food source. The discovery of Asian crop imports, including pearl millet and rice, in the early layers of settlements in Madagascar provides archaeological evidence of the Austronesians' agricultural influence. The spread of Pacific rats, unintentional stowaways on their voyages, inadvertently reshaped the ecosystems of the islands they reached. The introduction of plants like paper mulberry, used for making bark cloth, a practical and symbolic material in Austronesian cultures, further demonstrates their impact on the environment and material culture. The Austronesians' agricultural practices were not static, they evolved through interaction and exchange with local populations. In Papua New Guinea, Austronesian pottery, particularly the distinctive red-slibbed pottery associated with the Lapita culture, has been found along the north and south coasts, influencing the pottery traditions of the highland Papuan cultures. This exchange of knowledge and technology reflects the dynamic nature of cultural interaction and the Austronesians' ability to adapt and innovate in new environments. The Austronesian expansion was not a monolithic event, but a complex and multifaceted process, a symphony of language, culture, and agriculture interwoven into a grand narrative of human migration and adaptation. The linguistic connections, the cultural practices, and the agricultural innovations were all intertwined, each influencing and shaping the others. The Austronesians' journey across the Pacific was a testament to their resilience, their ingenuity, and their ability to create vibrant and enduring cultures in the face of new challenges and opportunities. Their legacy, etched in the languages, cultures, and landscapes of the Pacific, continues to inspire and inform our understanding of human history and the interconnectedness of our world. Chapter 3. Seeds of Change. The Austronesian Breath on Language, Culture, and Agriculture. The Austronesian migrations were more than just a movement of people. They were a transmission of ideas, technologies, and ways of life that transformed the languages, cultures, and agricultural practices of the regions they touched. The linguistic footprint is vast, encompassing over 1,200 languages, all stemming from the Proto-Austronesian language spoken in Taiwan. This linguistic tapestry stretches from the Philippines to Polynesia and even to the shores of Madagascar, where the Malagasy language reflects a blend of Austronesian roots and later influences. The connection between Malagasy and Malay reveals a common ancestry, while the presence of Sanskrit, Arabic, and Persian loanwords in Malagasy hints at later interactions across the Indian Ocean. Malay, strategically located along the Strait of Malacca, emerged as a lingua franca, facilitating communication between traders from various cultures. Its influence is evident in the numerous Malay loanwords found in languages across the region, from Aceh in northern Sumatra to the Sulu archipelago and the northern Moluccas. Even Creole languages like Tokpisan in Papua New Guinea demonstrate the Austronesians' impact on language evolution. The linguistic diversity within Taiwan reflects the broader Austronesian language family. The Formosan languages represent 9 of the 10 primary branches of the Austronesian family, offering valuable insights into the evolution of Proto-Austronesian. The shared use of the grammatical affix, ma, in some East Formosan and Malayo-Polynesian languages suggests a shared origin. The word mata, I, found in languages from Taiwan to Polynesia and beyond, exemplifies the linguistic ties that connect these communities. The Indonesian word matahari, sun, meaning eye of the day, also illustrates this shared vocabulary. Shared words for numbers, family members, like mother and father, and body parts further demonstrate the common linguistic heritage. For example, the numbers 1 through 10 show clear cognates across different Austronesian languages, pointing to a shared origin. Austronesian culture is as diverse as its languages, yet common threads weave through this tapestry. Tattooing served as a marker of identity, status, and spiritual connection. Stilt houses, a practical adaptation to coastal environments, also held symbolic meaning, connecting inhabitants to the spiritual world. Jade carving showcased artistic skill and reverence for this precious stone, while rock art motifs offered glimpses into spiritual beliefs and artistic expressions. Ancestor veneration, a common practice, reflected respect for lineage and the wisdom of past generations. In Nias, carved figures represented deceased family members, while the Yami people's fishing associations highlighted the importance of collective effort and the spiritual connection to the sea. In the Sulu region, grave markers resembling boats symbolized a journey to the afterlife. The Kuda Kepong trance dance in Java offered a glimpse into the spiritual world. Betel nut chewing served as both a social ritual and a way to connect with the spiritual realm. Austronesian architecture also showcased their cultural ingenuity. The bale houses of the Ifugao, with their raised structures, are believed to be derived from granary designs. The Tongkonan houses of the Toraja, with their saddleback roofs, evoked boats, symbolizing their maritime heritage. The Bai meeting houses of Palau served as communal spaces. Austronesians were skilled agriculturalists, introducing domesticated plants and animals that transformed Pacific landscapes and diets. Rice, a staple crop, diversified as they adapted varieties to different island environments. Wetland agriculture and irrigation systems allowed for increased food production. Bananas, coconuts, breadfruit, yams, taro, and paper mulberry were also cultivated. Archaeological evidence in Madagascar reveals Asian crop imports, including pearl millet and rice. The spread of Pacific rats inadvertently reshaped ecosystems. The introduction of paper mulberry, used for making bark cloth, further impacted the environment and material culture. Austronesian agricultural practices evolved through interaction and exchange with local populations. In Papua New Guinea, Austronesian pottery, particularly the red-slipped pottery of the Lapita culture, influenced highland Papuan traditions. The Austronesian expansion, a multifaceted process, intertwined language, culture, and agriculture. Their journey across the Pacific showcased their resilience, ingenuity, and ability to create vibrant cultures. Chapter 4. Whispers of the Ancestors. Unraveling the Linguistic and Genetic Clues. The Austronesian expansion is a captivating detective story, piecing together clues from language, genetics, and archaeology to unravel the mysteries of their past. Linguistic studies have been instrumental in this endeavor, tracing the origins and relationships of Austronesian languages. By comparing vocabularies and grammatical structures, linguists have reconstructed Proto-Austronesian, the common ancestor of all Austronesian tongues. This reconstruction provides valuable insights into early Austronesian history, supporting the out of Taiwan theory. For example, the reconstruction of Proto-Austronesian terms for plants and animals found only in Taiwan strengthens the argument for a Taiwanese origin. The dispersal of these terms across the Pacific reflects the migration routes of the Austronesians and their introduction of these species to new environments. The discovery of the grammatical affix, ma, in 4 indigenous Formosan languages, Amos, Kavalan, Bisay Trobiawan, and Saraya, and its presence in Malayo-Polynesian languages like Tagalog and Malay provides compelling linguistic evidence for the out of Taiwan theory. This shared grammatical feature, used to mark the actor in a sentence, is absent in other Formosan languages, suggesting a close relationship between these specific Formosan languages and the Malayo-Polynesian branch, pointing to eastern Taiwan as the likely starting point. The distribution of this feature strengthens the argument for a migration from eastern Taiwan, where these languages are still spoken, into the Pacific. Genetic studies add another layer to our understanding. Analyses of mitochondrial DNA, mtDNA, and Y chromosome variations have revealed complex patterns of genetic admixture and exchange. The geographical distribution of the E haplotype, found exclusively in Austronesian populations, and its decreasing percentage as one moves further from Taiwan supports the migration theory. The highest concentrations of the E haplotype are found in Taiwan's indigenous populations, while lower percentages are observed in the Philippines, Indonesia, and other Austronesian-speaking regions, reflecting the genetic mixing that occurred as Austronesians interacted with local populations during their expansion. While the majority of Polynesian mtDNA types are of East Asian origin, a significant proportion of Polynesian Y chromosomes are of Melanesian origin. This discrepancy suggests sex-biased admixture, with Austronesian women intermarrying with Melanesian men, particularly in Melanesia and coastal New Guinea. This pattern supports the slow boat model, suggesting that Polynesian ancestors, originating in East Asia, mixed with Melanesian populations before colonizing the Pacific. The proportions of these different ancestry components vary across Austronesian populations, reflecting the complex history of migration and interaction. For example, populations in the Philippines tend to have a higher proportion of Negrito ancestry, while populations in eastern Indonesia and Oceania exhibit a greater degree of Melanesian admixture. Specific genetic markers and haplogroups provide further insights. The Polynesian motif, a 9-base pair deletion in mtDNA, has helped trace migrations from Southeast Asia to Polynesia. Its ancestral variant, found in Philippine populations, links Southeast Asia and the Pacific. The NRY haplogroup OM110, found in the Admiralty Islands, suggests a Taiwanese origin, supporting the out of Taiwan theory. Genome-wide data have further illuminated admixture patterns, confirming the presence of multiple ancestry components in Austronesian populations. The Austronesian story is further enriched by cultural practices and traditions like tattooing, stilt houses, and jade carving, which point to a shared ancestry. A potential Austronesian connection to South America is suggested by the presence of sweet potatoes in Oceania, likely originating in South America, and the existence of similar stone weapons, known as batu or patu, in Taiwan, New Zealand, Polynesia, and Peru. These shared cultural traits and the transfer of plants across vast distances hint at possible contact between Austronesian and South American populations. The combination of linguistic, genetic, and archaeological evidence paints a complex picture of the Austronesian expansion. It was a dynamic process of migration, interaction, and cultural exchange, with the Austronesians acting as traders, explorers, and innovators, adapting to new environments and shaping the Pacific's cultural landscapes. The story of Liangdao Man, whose 8,000-year-old remains provided crucial genetic evidence linking him to the E haplotype, exemplifies the scientific detective work involved in unraveling this story. This ancient ancestor, a whisper from the past, offers a tangible connection to the origins of the Austronesians and their remarkable journey across the Pacific. Chapter 5. Beyond the Horizon. Challenging the established narrative of Austronesian expansion. While the out of Taiwan theory remains the prevailing explanation for the Austronesian expansion, ongoing research reveals a more nuanced and complex picture. This chapter delves deeper into the alternative theories and evidence that challenge aspects of the traditional narrative, offering a more intricate understanding of this remarkable migration. The simplistic notion of a single, rapid expansion from Taiwan is being challenged by archaeological evidence suggesting multi-directional migrations and cultural exchanges. For instance, similar pottery styles, like the red-slipped pottery found in Taiwan and the Philippines, and stone tools discovered across different regions suggest complex interactions between Taiwan, island Southeast Asia, and Oceania, rather than a one-way dispersal. The discovery of Lapita pottery, with its characteristic dentate stamped decorations, in sites across the Bismarck archipelago to Samoa, and its similarities to red-slipped pottery from sites like Nagsaburan in the Philippines, supports the idea of complex trade networks and cultural exchange, rather than a simple migration from Taiwan. Taiwan's role as a potential contact zone between North and South, rather than solely a source of outward migration, is supported by the movement of Japonica rice. Genetic studies of rice varieties reveal that while Japonica rice diversified and spread around 4,000 to 5,000 years ago, indigenous Taiwanese rice split from Northeast Asian temperate rice around 2,600 years ago. The subsequent gene flow between Taiwan and the Philippines, primarily from the Philippines to Taiwan, started before 1,300 years ago, indicating Taiwan as a point of interaction and exchange, rather than a single origin point. This exchange is further corroborated by archaeological evidence of trade networks exchanging bronze and jade between Taiwan and Southeast Asia during this period. Pottery sherds found in northern Sulawesi, dating back 2,000 to 1,800 years, also suggest westward expansion of Austronesian culture and interaction with other cultural groups in island Southeast Asia. Genetic studies further complicate the narrative. The Pan-Asian SNP Consortium's findings suggest that the genetic diversity of Taiwanese aboriginals is a subset of the diversity in island Southeast Asia, implying migrations back to Taiwan. The study of mtDNA haplogroup E, which likely expanded in island Southeast Asia after the last ice age and reached Taiwan within the last 8,000 years, reinforces this idea of multi-directional movement. The presence of basal haplogroups in island Southeast Asia, deep-rooted lineages directly connected to founding macro-haplogroups M, indicates long-term in situ evolution and isolation, challenging the idea of a single origin and dispersal. The discovery of haplogroups P8 and P10 in the Philippines, branches of haplogroup P typically found in Australia and Melanesia, suggests an origin of P in island Southeast Asia followed by independent dispersals, rather than a direct migration from Taiwan. The concept of Sundaland, the ancient landmass that connected much of Southeast Asia during the last ice age, adds another dimension. Genetic studies of ancient human remains suggest that Sundaland may have been a source of early migrations into island Southeast Asia, predating the Austronesian expansion. This challenges the out of Taiwan model by suggesting earlier, more complex population movements in the region. For example, the discovery of the Polynesian motif in the Philippines, and its absence in Taiwanese populations, suggests an origin outside of Taiwan. The Austronesian expansion wasn't solely driven by population growth and agricultural advancements. Trade, exploration, and the search for resources played significant roles. The Austronesians were skilled navigators and traders, establishing extensive trade networks across the Pacific. The Obsidian trade network in the Admiralty Islands, where obsidian from Liu Island was traded to New Britain, the Solomons, and even Vanuatu, exemplifies their maritime trade routes. The exchange of prestige goods, such as jade, between different island communities further demonstrates the importance of trade in their society. The search for bird's head seashells, highly valued in some cultures, may have motivated early voyages to New Guinea. The abundance of marine resources in certain areas, combined with the Austronesians' maritime skills, likely contributed to the establishment of permanent settlements. Language spread wasn't solely through population replacement. Cultural diffusion played a vital role. Austronesian languages may have been adopted by indigenous populations for trade and social interaction, serving as lingua francas in certain regions. The presence of Sanskrit loanwords in Malay and Javanese, influenced by the Indianized states of Southeast Asia, demonstrates this cultural and linguistic exchange. Similarly, Austronesian languages influenced Papuan languages in New Guinea, showcasing the interaction and blending of different linguistic traditions. Alternative theories like Wilhelm Solheim II's New Santao Maritime Trading and Communication Network offer different perspectives, emphasizing the importance of trade and cultural exchange in shaping the Austronesian world. Ongoing research, including the study of ancient rice genomes and archaeological findings in Fujian Province, China, continues to refine our understanding. The discovery of a 7,300-year-old civilization on Pingtan Island, Fujian Province, with genetic links to Austronesian people and evidence of early rice cultivation, suggests that the origins of Austronesian culture may be geographically broader than previously thought. The Austronesian migrations transformed not only populations but also cultures and agricultural practices. They introduced domesticated plants and animals, including rice, bananas, and pigs, reshaping the diets and landscapes of the islands they settled. Cultural practices such as tattooing, stilt house construction, jade carving, and ancestor veneration reflect a shared heritage, while also showcasing regional variations and adaptations. The spread of Austronesian languages wasn't solely through population replacement but also through cultural diffusion, with these languages serving as lingua francas for trade and social interaction. The Austronesian story continues to unfold as new research challenges established narratives and reveals a more intricate understanding of this remarkable journey. This research has broader implications for our understanding of human migration, cultural exchange, and the interconnectedness of our world. It highlights the dynamic nature of cultural interaction, the adaptability of human populations, and the enduring legacy of ancient migrations. What are your thoughts on the Austronesian expansion? What questions do you have about this fascinating chapter in human history? Share your comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and suggest topics for future explorations. The journey of discovery never ends, and the pursuit of knowledge enriches us all.